Okay, next drill we're going to do is going to be the 7 cut. We're going to start this out in a front stance here. Okay, you're going to start from a down blocking position. Once again, the chamber hand is up against the shoulder. Okay, you want to make sure that your block isn't too high. Okay, shouldn't be anywhere around your midsection, should be right over your knee. Okay, not too close but not too far, just right. Okay, now what we're going to do is on the first cut, okay, when I see this in competition, a lot of people do it, well, they just mess it up, period. Okay, we're getting like either a too smooth motion or the cut is too short. Okay, this has a big cut. It takes up the whole body. So now the first cut here is going to come across your throat. Okay, so right around your shoulder height is where this cut should come out. Right across, and then the blade should flip over at the end to finish. Okay, so from this position here, you're going to come out straight. You don't want to come out wide, okay, because now it's telegraphing. Okay, you want the technique to be sharp. So from here, come straight out, turn your wrist flat, come across to the opposite shoulder, and retract. And it should come close to your shoulder. Also, you remember your chamber hand, so you want to make sure that's high enough that it doesn't hit against your blade, because as soon as the judge hears this, they're going to deduct. Okay, so from the blocking position, chop all the way across. Okay, watch that slow. You're going to cut across here, coming out straight from the chamber, here, across to the shoulder, retract. Okay, you don't want this motion to be too big, because then it takes longer to get from one cut to the other cut. Okay, so now we're going to go from this first cut to the second cut. Same thing here, cut and over. Now the second cut is straight down in a blocking position. Okay, so now you cut across the throat and then across the body. Okay, so 1 and 2, 1, 2. Okay, now this one here, straight across, right around your throat. Shouldn't be up here by your face, okay, because now you're blocking yourself and the cut is just wrong. Okay, you're coming across the throat to the shoulder. This is where it finished. That's one cut. Second cut comes down across and locking here. You don't want this cut to be wide because you're in a front stance. So if your strike is over here, it's a waste of time because your target is right in front of you. 1 and 2, stopping in front so that you have maximum control of the weapon. Now, the opposite hand does the same thing. It's going to come out straight, turn over, cut across to the shoulder, down in front. Okay, and now all you're going to do is just repeat this motion over and over. You're coming from the right, across, flip, lock on the shoulder, down. From the left, out straight, cut across to the shoulder, over, and down. Okay, both finishing in the same position, starting in the same position. So watch again. We're coming out straight. Okay, you're coming out, and as your hand is coming out, the wrist turns over, slicing across. As it slices across, just retract your wrist over. Coming down here, locking out straight. Arm is locked out, you're right in front of your back leg, okay? You don't want to be outside, you don't want to be too far in. Right outside there, right outside the shoulder. Okay, now left hand does the same thing, comes out, and as this hand is coming out, your chamber hand is coming back. Cutting across, locking over, and then down. Okay, you want to make sure that as one hand is coming out, the other one is replacing it. Okay, so now this one's out. As this one comes, this one pulls back. Okay, they should never be in the same place at the same time. You're always switching. Okay, because if they're ever in the same place at the same time, you're going to look sloppy. Okay, you need to show the judges as much of your chest as possible. So you want to always make sure that there's a clear path between arm and arm. Okay, so from here, cut, cut. Opposite side, cut, cut. Okay, try and keep the blade as flat as possible when cutting across and flipping over. Down straight. Cutting across, keeping the blade flat, down. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so you actually have 4 strikes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you do it slow first. Okay, don't just try and blast out, because then you're going to end up with either bad lines, okay, going too high, or cutting it too short. Okay, a lot of people cut it really short and it's not completing the strike. This is like one of the most traditional strikes that we have in kama forms, because a punch isn't really a traditional strike. The kama was meant, the blade is here, okay? So it's meant for slicing motions, cuts and stuff like that. So this is basically the cut that's very important. When you're doing it, make sure you're doing it correct, because this is the most traditional cut we have for the weapon in the open form. Okay, so now you're locking in your stance. 1, 2. Okay, make sure you hold finishing position, check it, make sure it's all correct. 1, 2. Lock, make sure it's correct. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, okay? Make sure you're completing up nice and high, down. Complete, nice and high, down. Complete, nice and high, and down. Complete, and down. Complete, down. Complete, down, okay? And as you get better, you can speed it up, okay? Make sure that you're still locking 1 and 2, okay? As soon as you start linking these together, that's when you're taking away from the technique because it wasn't meant that way. It was meant for one slice and then the second slice, okay? This is gonna show better technique and more power. You're not gonna get as much power out of this smooth motion as you would from 2 separate cuts, okay? So you just wanna rep this as much as you can because it's very important. I still do this drill myself because it's a very hard technique to make look right because so many people do it wrong, okay? You really wanna focus on this. Take your time, do it right. Keep your look in the mirror, you know, just check your lines from now and then, and making sure that it's coming across the center, not across your face, right across the throat and down. Across the throat, down, down, down. Make sure that you're locking here, not outside, not too far in, okay? Right outside here, right where your arm will be straight, right along your shoulder line. 1 and 2, okay? And that's your 7 cut.